Greetings. Today we'll discuss the pivot or initial point in Indiana. What is a pivot point, you might ask? Well, it's the initial point of all land surveys in Indiana. The point was established by a surveyor team led by Ebenezer Buckingham on September the 1st, 1805. I did visit the site in the summer of 2025. However, I did not walk back to the actual stone marker as it is on private land. An historical marker near the road is about 600 yards east of the stone pillar, and that we did visit. Before getting started, I would encourage you to subscribe to the Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel for more great content. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will show it to other people, allowing me to grow the channel. I also entreat you to visit my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. There you will find sample chapters, podcasts, and a slew of content and links to where you can buy my books. While visiting the website, you can subscribe to it and receive email notifications of when I publish a new book or other content like this video and podcast. This episode is based on my book, South Central Indiana Road Trips. The historical marker is located at the intersection of Indiana State Road 37 and Pivot Point Road, 6.5 miles south of Paoli, 0.5 miles south of Pine Valley and County Road 550 South in Orange County. The pivot or initial point marks a point at which legal land descriptions begin in the Northwest Territory and also Indiana. This point, established by a surveyor team headed by U.S. Deputy Surveyor Ebenezer Buckingham on September the 1st, 1805. If you own property in Indiana, it's the boundaries are actually determined by this initial point surveyed in 1805. In Ohio, an historical marker marks a point where surveyors established the beginning point of U.S. public land surveys in 1785. This point is at the three-way intersection formed by three states of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. It's now in West Virginia. It's on the north side of the Ohio River. The commemorative site is located about 2 miles east of the center of East Liverpool, Ohio, at the intersection of Ohio State Road 39 and Pennsylvania Route 68. The first and second meridian, the meridian is an east-west surveyor line established to mark boundaries. Meridians are about 60 nautical miles or 69.04 miles apart. The distance is not exact because the distance is measured at the equator and gradually diminishes as it moves north along the poles. The first meridian of the Northwest Territory is the current boundary between Indiana and Ohio. Working in deep forest under highly primitive conditions, the crew established the first and second meridians based upon the beginning of the U.S. Land Survey established in 1785. After establishing the first and second meridian, Buckingham established the baseline at 38 degrees 28 minutes and 20 seconds north latitude. Once he had these lines established, the intersection of these lines became the pivot point or initial point. Meridians and baselines form the basis for the way surveyors divide out land in Indiana. Called the grid system, Indiana was the first state laid out with this system. The area around Vincennes does not match up because much of that land was laid out before the surveyors laid out the grid. Keen map readers will note that all the meridians do not go exactly north and south. This is because occasionally surveyors have to correct the narrowing that occurs as a line moves north of the equator. The basic division of the grid is a township. A township is about 6 miles square. The next division is the section, which is about 1 mile square. Thus, there are 36 sections in a township. Surveyors must next divide each section into quarters of about 160 acres. Each section will have 4 quarters. Meridians of longitude are numbered from 0 to 180 east and 0 to 180 west of the prime meridian. The meridian passing through Greenwich, England. The meridian passes through Greenwich, England. The distance between the degrees of longitude is about 60 miles at the nautical miles at the equator, and it's about 69.04 miles, standard miles, as I mentioned before. Thomas Jefferson, working with others, devised this system in 1784. The pivot point is the starting point of almost all land surveys further west. This was very dangerous work, and 2 men died during the survey. David Sanford died of malaria, and Ziba Foote drowned in a swamp. Thomas Buckingham lived from February the 9th, 1778 until the August the 21st, 1832. The son of Ebenezer and Esther Bradley Buckingham, Ebenezer was native to Connecticut. Buckingham learned the surveyor trade and migrated into the Northwest Territory in 1797. Surveyor General Rufus Putnam appointed him as deputy surveyor. Buckingham surveyed much of the land in Ohio, finishing there by 1802. He remained in the Ohio River Valley, settling in Zanesville, Ohio. He married General Putnam's daughter, Catherine. They would have 1 daughter. Catherine died in 1808, and Buckingham married Sarah, who died in 1815. He married a 3rd time to Eunice Hale. In addition to surveying, Buckingham ran a general store and warehouse in Zanesville. He continued surveying, plotting many towns, and did later work in the Indiana Territory. Buckingham also served 2 terms as Ohio State Senator. He died while working on a bridge across the Ohio River, when his temporary support collapsed. This episode is based upon my book, South Central Indiana Road Trips, available on the website www.southmossyfeetbooks.com. The book is the first book in the 9-volume Road Trip Indiana series. The books include all the historical markers as of 2022 in Indiana with the text and backstory. The books also include a nearly complete listing of virtually every tourist destination in the state. The destinations include parks, museums, drive-in theaters, bowling alleys, wineries, and much, much more. I encourage you to visit the website and subscribe to it. You can find my books locally at the Walnut Street Variety Shop in Batesville, Indiana. I hope you enjoy.